How would I learn a different language if I only had 1 month, so 4 weeks to do so? You'll be able to converse, get your point across, and understand the basics of what's been said back to you. For many people, that's the goal, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. My name's James, I'm a native English speaker. Puedo hablar español e anche posso parlare italiano. I help people reach a conversational level in a different language. So, first thing to address is, what do we mean by learning language? From zero to somewhat being able to communicate with a native speaker. That's the point. So, for example, if you're going on holiday soon, or you're traveling for work, or you just want to get by at the airport or ask for taxi and things like that in a specific scenario, then perfect. This is for you. So let's dive into it. Point number one is start with phrases first. So many people learn words, so say nouns and verbs like things and doing words. But realistically, if you want to be quicker than that, start with ready-made phrases. Many of us can complete other people's sentences because you know what to expect. Like at the end of a phrase, you know what the whole phrase will look like and you know the path of conversation that someone's going down. With that said, if you learn a phrase in a different language, you'll cut corners. You won't have to understand the grammar because the sentence is already constructed for you. If you have a phrase like, what do you do in your spare time? That's a common phrase that people ask each other. Or, where is the XYZ? So, where is the airport? Or, where is the bus station? Things like that. Already constructed sentences means that you don't have to focus on the grammar. And it's more useful because if you remember that phrase and you know where to apply it, you can do that in whatever situation you want to learn language for. And it's a good approach in this sense because you learn only what you need for the reason that you need it for. In terms of how to obtain those phrases, just Google or use ChatGPT and put into ChatGPT, for example, put in, tell me the top 20 phrases that I might find useful in Spanish when at a restaurant or when at a bar or when in the street asking for directions. That could be really useful for you because then you'll find out, okay, if I learn these phrases, the top phrases, then I'll be able to navigate. They might not be exactly correct, but you can switch out a word for a word. So instead of saying, where is a bus station? Switch for where is a train station? And that's how you get around it. The second point is start with situations. So start with one situation at a time. For example, I might be going on holiday in 4 weeks' time and I want to be able to order food and drink at a restaurant. How would I do that? Well, I would look up the phrases that are most relevant for that situation, so in a restaurant or in a bar, and I'd focus on that. And that means I don't learn anything like elephant or tree because it's not useful. I don't even learn the verb to run because I'm not running in a restaurant. I'm focused on what you'd normally order. Do you normally have a lemonade or do you normally have a Coke or something? Focus on that and learn the words because you can then replicate the normal style and normal phrases you use in your home country, in your native language, and apply that to abroad. On that note, I've created a free email course on how to learn a language despite having a busy lifestyle. It contains a range of tips and tricks and works for any language, suitable for all levels, and it helps you achieve your language goals in less time if you're really busy. There's a link in the description below to check it out. And the benefit of focusing on one scenario at a time is that you don't need to learn anything else that you don't need. So, in that month that you've got, that 4 weeks time period that you've given yourself to get to an okay level, to a conversational level in a language, you can smash it because you're not learning anything you don't need to. If you focus, you'll get there a lot quicker. The third point is study little and often. Don't try and bombard yourself with new information because you'll only remember a small bit of it. Instead, try and do little and often. So remind yourself of it, of what you learn, and there's a thing called spaced repetition. And what that means is that initially, when you learn a new word, you revise it very often. So maybe twice a day or once a day or something like that. But then, as time progresses, you reduce or you increase the spaces between when you learn that word. So it might be every week or every 2 weeks you revise that word. And that is amazing for transferring new memories and new learnings from your short term memory into your long term memory. So then it's more ingrained in what you say. And then when you find yourself trying to think of a word or say something, it's more ingrained into your mind. So it's more easily accessible. That's how it works. So don't try and cram study because that doesn't work. Your brain needs to be able to defragment and organize what it learns in your mind overnight. And that's via a process called sleep. It works for everything else as well. If you're cramming for exams, it doesn't work. You have to use sleep to help your mind to understand patterns and processes. So study little and often, despite the fact that you want to do it really quickly in a month. Don't hammer it, just even do half an hour every day. That's better than waiting till the weekend and doing 5 hours or something per day, because you're not going to remember it all. So that's it. If you really want to get the basics of a language understood and be able to communicate with native speakers in a month's time period, it is possible. You will not be fluent. You need many years or many months and years to be able to get to a fluent level. So let's just highlight that bit. However, you will be able to converse with different people, and you just need to remember to do it little and often and focus on scenarios that you need and using phrases that are most useful for you in that scenario. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe and see you later.